Obsidian is often referred to as the second brain app. At first glance, its interface might seem overwhelming, but there is huge potential hidden beneath. On the other hand, Notion allows you to do almost anything. That is why many consider it an all-in-one app. However, if you were to choose between either of these, which one would you go for? Let's find out. In the first instance, when you launch Obsidian, what strikes your eye is that it does not have a complex interface. It's not over the top, and that's on purpose. What we found most different from Notion is that Obsidian's interface is more empty or white for you to make it what you want it to be. But thankfully, it has many inbuilt templates and preset structures, and this is not bad if you like things done in your own way. You begin with what they call the vault. This is simply a folder where all your notes are held. From there, you can create links between your notes, and these are the links that make Obsidian's working structure. This linking system is one of the major assets of the app, because linking really means that this platform creates a network of thoughts, which could be very helpful in case if you have a lot of work in your hands, or if you investigate something specific, for example. The best part? It is fully flexible as to how all is arranged. This makes it feel more natural instead of feeling like you are creating some sort of document about notes, though. That might be because it is similar to setting up your own personal knowledge base for quick searches. However, when you get into Notion, the first thing you will find is that the whole environment is clean and polished. Nothing is missing. You don't need to waste time designing the basic framework of how the layout would look like because Notion provides templates and blocks, text blocks, database releases, chores, or anything else can be included in these blocks. The presentation by Notion is perfect for people who are overwhelmed by chaotic apps and don't know where to start. This means it's designed for personal use as well as group use, and while the core concept of taking notes can be done by individuals, it quickly expands into project organization and group collaboration. While in Obsidian, you constantly build everything yourself. Notion leads you to make use of its provided structure, which may be beneficial for those who do not wish to invest time in setting up templates. It's rather like drawing on a piece of paper and using a whiteboard to arrange sticky notes to come up with the same idea, as Obsidian's interface might be compared to Notion's. Obsidian permits you to let your notes evolve on their own, while Notion has a fixed structure in which every note has its unique position. Moving on, let us discuss further the side-by-side comparison of the features and the advantages of using Obsidian and Notion. Obsidian is an app that helps you taking notes with the usage of Markdown. Markdown is a lightweight markup language that makes syntax to use to apply styles in text using symbols. For instance, typing spaces around a word will cause that word to become bold or underlined. This simplicity is wonderful because essentially what you are doing when writing in Obsidian is typing on a plain text editor, which many people adore because of the lack of extra features. Markdown is quite versatile, so even when moderating content, you can do so without resorting to rich text editing, which normally is time-consuming in other applications. Therefore, there are no distracting features or controls that want to consume all of your screen space and time. Obsidian's interface is still clean and simple. This is perfect for you if you prefer a straightforward experience where content is the main focus, without distracting pop-ups or toolbars. However, Notion employs a block structure to accomplish this. This system is easier to use and is a lot more visual and hands-on than using a text file. So formatting your notes can be done without having to learn specific command symbols or syntax. In MS Word, every single paragraph, picture, table, or inserted file is a block and can be just moved around as per one's desires. Markdown in Obsidian is less flexible in terms of formatting compared to blocks that Notion provides. You can insert tables, generate a multiple-tiered database, add images, or even place links and multimedia in one click. The block system is also fairly intuitive, so organizing nicely formatted notes in clearly defined blocks is not a problem. That said, this can be quite liberating if you're just trying to jot something down quickly and concisely. Still, the integration of Obsidian's linking feature is done well, without any hitches at all. Internally, every note could be connected to another, which is quite engaging, and can be compared to the construction of a personal knowledge graph. As a connection is made over time, Obsidian produces an automated graphical view of all the connected ideas. For instance, in the case of writing a research paper, you can connect notes completed regarding certain research themes and sources as well as arguments. What this does is that it generates a connectivity map on how your thoughts are related, hence enabling one to move in between ideas in a non-sequential method. This is like having your own wiki, and as it develops over a period of time into a network of linked notes, It's ideal if you are working on a long-term project or using it as your own personal knowledge management system. Notion, though permitting one to create links between pages and notes, does not supply the same specific richness of the knowledge graph. This only allows for the linking of pages, something similar to Obsidian in that it shows the links between notes visually. Nevertheless, Notion has relatively considerable advantages, which are primarily based on the WordPress concept of database. One can create relations between entries, providing thus relations between different sets of data. This is very beneficial in project management and document organizing, since it shows how activities or documents are connected. For instance, you could link a meeting note to a task in your project database and see all things linked in a slightly more linear way, which is helpful for large teams or if all work is done in collaboration. The ability to fully customize it is where Obsidian stands out the most. As a result, it offers you a broad range of plugins to enable you to adjust the app based on your preferences. At present, there are already hundreds of user-created plugins which include dashboards such as Kanban boards and calendars, timers such as the Pomodoro timer, and even PDF annotation tools. You can even set up themes to alter the look of Obsidian to your heart's content. The plugin system is very portable, which makes Obsidian very versatile. Simon says, if there is any functionality that you think is missing, then you can be sure there is a plugin for that. Obsidian is perfect for people who like to have full control over the tools they use or are comfortable with coding. Notion, however, lacks built-in plugs, but it has a list of services it supports, like Google Calendar, Slack, and Trello. All sorts of media can be inserted, and links to third-party apps can be included as well. There's a powerful API that enables Notion to integrate with other apps. Notion also includes templates for nearly every type of documentation and use case available, from taking notes during a meeting and organizing tasks to a personal diary, so there is no need to set up the app from scratch. It's less customizable than Obsidian, which is a drawback. It only supports integrations and functionalities available in Notion, and you may be locked out if not impressed with the unique special features. Collaboration is where Notion outshines Obsidian. Notion was built with teamwork in mind, and it excels in a collaborative approach. You can invite team members to your workspace, and everyone can edit documents in real time. It's like Google Docs, but with more advanced project management tools baked in. For instance, if you're working on a project with multiple people, you can create a task board in Notion, assign tasks to different team members, and track progress, all in one place. Notion also supports comments and mentions and allows for real-time feedback and interaction, which is essential for team projects. This makes Notion a top choice for businesses, startups, or even study groups. Obsidian, on the other hand, is meant for individual use. Likewise, it does not have features for collaboration. For instance, where Notion supports real-time collaboration, which can be fine-tuned to specific pages, Obsidian either allows note syncing across devices. That will not be a problem for users who work alone or who do not have the need to engage in collaboration often. But if you have to put time on editing of the document with the team, Notion's collaboration features are much superior. One of the most significant distinctions between both apps is data processing and management. Obsidian is a local-first knowledge base tool, which means all your notes are saved on a local device. This is a big plus for users who care about their anonymity and desire to control all data. Your notes are stored as plain text documents on your computer or phone, and you can export your vaults to Google Drive, Dropbox, or other cloud services. Alternatively, you can opt for Obsidian Sync, which is available for $8 per month. Since the database is located locally, the notes can be accessed without an internet connection, which makes Obsidian more suitable for users who are constantly on the move or working in areas with poor connectivity. Notion, on the other hand, is a cloud-based application, which means that your notes and all the data you input are stored remotely on Notion servers. Thus, accessing your notes necessitates an internet connection. The benefit is that you do not have to think about how and where to store your data or arrange its backups. Notion does it for you. However, this also implies that you are limiting your access to Notion's cloud service, which may be a con if privacy is something dear to you. Notion has offline availability on mobile, yet those resources are quite constrained, and you will not be able to find or change all your documents without connectivity to the internet. Let's talk about the pricing. Obsidian has a community version which is free to download and use for personal purposes. And using this community version, it is possible to import almost all the useful options you need for notes. This app is specifically designed for making payments for additional services, such as sync or publish. For $8 per month, you can use the sync feature to link your notes, while the publish feature, which allows you to share your notes on the internet with public access, costs $16 per month. However, Obsidian for VS Code As an adjunct, if you are using Obsidian for commercial purposes, you pay $50 per year for a commercial license. We suggest that you don't need to spend even $1. You can benefit from the free version instead. Notion also has a free version, however. While having quite a lot of features, it is limited in some ways. The free version will be enough for most people, but the file size is limited to 5 megabytes, which can be a problem for people who deal with big files. It's $10 per user per month, lacks the same file limitations, but comes with features like 30 days page history, enhanced sharing options, and so on. For teams, there is a business plan that costs $15 for each user monthly, and allows users to enhance all collaboration features, including permissions and security. To pinpoint customers with large organizations, Notion has provided enterprise plans with giving quote based on their size. The major distinction here is that Obsidian is much more affordable and is designed for one-person use when you don't need a bunch of features, while Notion offers its plans in terms of collaboration. In the end, it comes down to what you're looking for. If you want a note-taking app that's fast, flexible, and all about privacy, Obsidian might be perfect for you. But if you're after an all-in-one workspace that handles everything from collaboration to databases, Notion is a solid choice. Hopefully, this comparison gave you some insight into both apps. Whichever you choose, remember that the best tool is the one that fits your workflow.